Oh, hey everybody, we're back again. Are sick of us by now.
Yeah, probably. But thank you for everybody who has been watching.
Especially
Thanks for anybody who joined us for the first time via Happy Fun Time Live and Geek Spiel. Actually, I'm going to take a quick moment just to thank Matt Miller from Geek Spiel for the last couple months of working together and the stuff we've been doing. I appreciate all that. I want to thank the staff here at Unpub, the coordinators and organizers here for the opportunity to do what we do for Unpub.
Sure.
I think you guys
Such
are
a great cause,
obviously. And honestly, they gave us a private room for the entire day, which thank you guys so much for that.
We'll get them later, bro.
Kind of a surprise. Yeah, I didn't announce this. It's not on the schedule, but 10 p.m. we will be having the organizers of Unpub join us for a little sort of closing interview session where we're going to talk about Unpub and some of the future of it, what happened in the past, and all that fun stuff. But stick around or come back later for that, please, because it should be fun. But right now we have our old friends here, Bob and Ryan.
Friends of the show, if you will.
friends of Happy Fun Time Live / Geek Spiel / everything I do, which is awesome. The Craig brothers here. So they actually are going to talk to you about a few things that are going on in their lives. They're going to talk briefly on Sheep Boom Ba, something that they put on Kickstarter. Had some trouble, right?
Yeah.
With it this time around, but you're coming back with a vengeance.
We're coming. Come back swinging.
We'll be back.
Some stuff with Monster Highway that has already been released and was funded, but they have some miniatures available on your website.
Yeah.
And some things with new components and
Wood and rings.
Abstract.
Yeah.
Wooden clacking.
Rings without the commitment.
Yeah.
There we go.
So yeah, so that was just a
Yeah.
little preface. So they're working on a bunch of things, and which is awesome. So why don't you guys take it away? Where do you want to start?
The
I guess-
explosively good time, or
Yeah, we can start real quick with the explosively good time.
Yeah. So if you flip it back toward you, you can actually show it there in the front, which is tiny. And then if you put it back on the board and turn it this way, there we go. They could see.
Ah, look at that.
technology.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
not vegan Sheep Boom Ba.
Right.
Unfortunately.
Not vegan friendly.
So Sheep Boom Ba, friendly, explodey sheep, fun game, getting sheep to your barn. We talked about it on Geek Spiel. We talked about it at Happy Fun Time Live.
Thank you guys again for doing that. And that too.
Yeah.
Geek Spiel, you guys had us on for the game of the week.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
No, we appreciate you guys coming around.
You built it out on tabletop sim.
Yeah, we did.
There's
Ken-
beautiful little fences in there on
Yeah,
the outside
yeah,
there.
yeah.
That was
Oh,
a
yeah.
nice little touch.
I put some
Yeah.
fences. There was some sheep in the field
Yeah.
around the table.
I
love
loaded that
the-
up.
the
I was
creative
like,
liberties.
wow,
It's like,
yeah.
yeah.
We're on the farm.
It's like I've done this stuff before, right?
I know, right?
But no. So the Kickstarter didn't fund, but you guys did look at some of the information following the Kickstarter. What are you guys sort of activating on leading into the relaunch? What are some of the things that you might have looked at changing or tweaking for your next campaign?
Yeah, one, we're changing some of the components, making some slight artwork changes.
Mhm.
One being we're going to make it colorblind friendly
Okay.
by adding. Let's see, what we got on here. We're actually going to be adding icons to our cards. I mean, if you're not familiar with it, all the cards have a color background. Everyone is a separate color, but we decided to make it colorblind friendly, we're adding icons simply just to the barn tiles and to all the cards.
Smart.
So that plays into the scoring at the end of the game. So that's a minor tweak.
Yeah, one thing with the icons too, our artist Alicia Wolfman, if anybody doesn't know her, she does fantastic work. She did all our art for Monster Highway, and she had the idea with this too. So not only to give it the yellow color, but also pick a shape too that kind of lends itself to that color as well. So the blue cloud,
barn,
green leaf,
Oh yeah.
red
Makes sense.
red barn too. So it's kind of like
Yellow star,
a double thing there
Perfect.
too.
Mm-hmm.
So we were adding that, and then there's actually like the player tiles like that you flip over on the field there.
Also have the icon.
Also have the icon as well.
Smart.
And then the player board on the back.
Mhm.
Here we'll also have the barn and have that little. That's what's sitting in front of you there too.
Okay.
So we were just playing around here too with just
Yeah.
different like ideas for like the +3 just to make it pop a little bit more. So we're still working, like I said,
Yeah.
through some of the art edits.
Yeah.
that we did.
You-
That was like one part of it.
You mentioned the other night when we were talking something about possible manufacturing examinations and
Yeah.
a chance that you might be able to set the funding goal a little bit lower,
Right.
make
Yeah.
it easier to hit that funding,
Exactly.
which is exciting as well.
Yeah.
Because I mean, those are some big tweaks for. I mean, we talked about this a lot today, but basically between designers and stuff,
Yeah.
little tweaks in different areas do
Yeah.
Do such a
big
huge
things,
thing.
right?
Yeah.
And not just in the games themselves, but the marketing around it. And,
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It's monumental, and
Yeah.
it's like thousands of dollars difference.
Right.
Like, it's
Right,
it's not
yes.
like, oh, we saved $100, we can knock it off the campaign. It's like
Yeah.
we could drop like $3,000. Like,
Yeah.
You know, it's
Exactly.
wild. Yeah. So
Exactly.
so that was one big thing, just finding a different manufacturer, and that actually came from being on a podcast and
Mm-hmm.
then just networking, which is a great thing with the whole community, and
Right.
and them just saying like, hey, did you ever consider reaching out to them? They
Yeah,
have X
exactly.
amount of your minimum order, and
Change
it's great.
everything.
It does. It was a complete game changer. So that was like number 2. So it's
Right.
Like,
And then we're gonna work on our Kickstarter video too.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because it was entertaining. It definitely was entertaining. But I think one of the feedback pieces I saw, and we think we spoke about this,
Sure,
was lack of gameplay in the promotion video.
Right.
There
Right.
was gameplay on your page, but just because it wasn't on the main video, that was like kind of a tick that people were like, I don't want to back it because there's not gameplay. I mean,
yeah, it
but-
showed
yeah.
like a movement or two like within it,
Right,
like
right.
in between shots, but it wasn't a hey, like this is actually what you do.
this is how you play the game.
Yeah,
right.
this
We
is-
talked
Yeah.
about how fickle of a bunch Kickstarter could be.
Very true.
I don't
Very
remember
true.
which one it was, but they're saying that like they've talked to people who like refuse to back anything if it's not already funded.
Right, right. I think
They
it was Carla
won't-
actually.
Yeah, they just won't do it unless it's a certain thing. And it's
Yeah.
like
Right.
that's really weird. Why would you want something and be like, yeah, I'm not going to contribute to helping that? Like,
Right.
Yeah, and that's
Right.
like the whole point of
Yeah,
Kickstarter.
it's-
Is
yeah,
to
exactly.
help,
Yeah,
contribute.
it's like
Get to the goal.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
what does it mean? But yeah, very very odd fickle bunch. And
Yeah.
there are these people who are those specific. If it doesn't
Like
hit X, Y, and
boxes,
Z, I'm
sure.
not going to do it.
Right.
It's like even though I want it.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's what we're hoping to
It's like,
capture
alright.
that crowd. Like if we
Yeah.
can, like I said, lower our funding goal and hit that goal,
Yeah.
then boom,
Right.
like that opens up a whole nother
Yeah.
potential market.
Absolutely.
Of backers. So,
Absolutely. So I will. One thing I admire that you guys have sort of done is you didn't sort of slouch and you didn't sort of like pout over not funding. You actually hit the ground running on activating on that itself, but then you're also spinning this thing up in the background.
Yeah.
And this is actually really interesting. Before we really examine the board itself, why don't you tell the audience what the game is about? Because this theme is very cool, even though it's abstract. I love the theme. So go ahead and talk about that.
yeah, sure. So basically,
The
It's
game is
Canosa.
Canosa.
the name, Canosa.
The name is
The
Canosa.
name is Canosa. It's Italian,
Yeah.
so it's like gnocchi and everything's got the GNs in it. Like Canosa.
The name is Canosa.
You gotta look at those.
Ooh,
It goes good with the chicken and parmesan. You're gonna back the game, all right? Playing my game.
What's the matter for you for not backing us?
You know, you're not really gonna buy the name.
Yeah.
But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Today on Cooking with Will.
Yeah.
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 So Canosa with a C.
Mhm.
So you are actually playing as sirens. So either side are two sirens, and these are shipwrecked sailors. So in Greek mythology, sirens call out to them with their musical sound, and they steer ships to crash. And these guys have crashed, and now they're floating in the water. And your goal is to bring them back to their island and basically capture them.
Yeah.
So it's 2-player head-to-head game. You have actions. Your siren moves along adjacent tiles. They're like a queen movement in chess. Your sailers here who are shipwrecked, they can move orthogonally adjacent.
Okay.
One space.
Love orthogonal.
Love
Love the word.
It's a nice word.
It's a good word.
It is.
Yeah.
It really
It's
is.
strong.
Yeah.
It's a strong word.
Very, very
Really
strong.
pumps up that vocabulary.
It
You
makes
start
you,
throwing
it makes
that
you
out.
sound like you've been designing for years, right?
Yeah.
Like
Orthogonal.
Just in
Jeez.
general.
That
yeah.
game you move orthogonally. I want that one. I'm backing it.
Orthogonal movement. That's like the feature, like on the Kickstarter. Orthogonal
Yeah.
movement.
Yeah.
Oh.
That'll be a
there
Kickstarter
we
video.
go.
Yeah.
You can move orthogonally. Done. That's it.
Done. I'm backing.
3 syllables. Check. All right, got it. Done. I'll take it.
Yeah. So.
So you're trying to move out there. You can actually like move out, and then in action is also you can toss rings. So
Right.
if you could kind of see, there's rings within the sirens here.
I see it. So
And you
each
can
siren has a
capture them.
stack of three rings
Three
here.
on them.
Mm-hmm.
So you can move out, and then you can actually capture the next one. So whoever has the ring on top is actually in control of that. So now I can start moving that back.
Oh, and the way that he can get it back, but he has to be adjacent to put the ring on top.
Correct. Yeah. So they're like the conduit to be able to transfer
Got
the
it.
ring. They can also draw back,
Mm-hmm.
which plays into some strategy.
Now, can queen movement and chess normally is full omnidirectional?
Sure.
Is this also what's the word?
We're talking only adjacent.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
actually, it's a true adjacent.
Oh,
they
so
can
you,
move.
you can move diagonally.
True, like a true queen.
orthogonally.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
What was your little special
Yeah,
word there? You
what's
just
the-
said that?
Or-
Something.
I don't even know what I said.
Omnidirectional.
Omnidirectional.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
just.
I think that trumps orthogonally.
Yeah, I know, right?
You just one-upped us.
We got a lot of good ones here.
Yeah.
This game brings out the best of you.
Big words with Will.
You
Yeah.
walk away with a couple IQ points boosted.
Yeah. Nice.
If you're taking the SATs, watch Happy Fun Time Live. You'll hear all the words that you're going to be dealing
all
with.
the important ones.
All the important ones. So the queen has free reign of movement.
Correct,
There's not a
yeah.
limit of how many spaces she or they can
Siren.
move. The siren.
Sirens
can
are
move, sorry.
traditionally female in Greek mythology.
Right.
but
Well,
you're
we're gonna rock with A for this in this instance.
Sure.
But this piece can move any number of spaces
Correct.
and in any direction, but they cannot break direction and do that. Right? They can't move in an L.
So they're doing that, like, so you have two actions on each
Yeah.
side, so you'd have to go one and then.
There are two actions.
Yeah, but in this
Yeah.
case, you would move diagonal.
Okay.
But if you wanted to try and like shoot through here, you can move one and then shoot up there through two.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
In that
That's
instance.
pretty amazing. Wow. So
Yeah.
you can actually do that. You could go boom
One.
and then
Yeah,
right
you
through.
ground.
Yeah, split the wickets. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And you can almost
Yeah.
do some blocking maneuvers here.
Yeah,
Got it.
exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Very
Yeah.
cool.
The only thing you can't do is just enter onto the other island.
Ah,
'cause,
okay.
There's a
How
So,
does
yeah.
like scoring work for it?
So what you're trying to do is when you're basically once they're I guess under their mind control,
Mhm.
they're moving back. When they get back to here,
Right.
then they come off the board and
Gotcha.
they score.
Is that a song?
What about like if you capture with the ring, does this ring come back or?
Yeah, the rings
The rings-
stay off
Yeah.
of the board for now.
Okay. Very cool. So
Yeah.
very very simple, basic, abstract.
Is it over once all five are out for either side or?
When one player's rings are actually cleared off the board.
Ooh,
Yeah,
okay,
so
that's
there's ways
interesting.
too that you
That's
can force
interesting.
like an end game too. So if you happen to be up and one person has like a purple
Oh,
left,
yeah,
you
and
can slide
you
in
just,
and you can
just throw it and then
cover
that's
it
it, game
and then
over.
Game over.
purple.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so it's kind of like
Yeah.
a forced end game that you have an option to do that. But then also too, if you only had one, you can actually like bring that back and
Yeah.
then force purple to have two open again
Yeah.
if you had one red nearby.
Okay.
So you can open the game back up again. So depending on whether there's rings off or rings
Yeah.
on,
Oh, that's interesting too. Yeah.
it kinda
Like if
spins
you're
it a
kind of
little.
like hanging out on this one and like
Yeah, so
against the other ones, and you're controlling when the game is over, basically.
Right,
Yeah.
you could camp one right here, and then I
that's
can slide up
wonderful.
and just say, "Hey, you got one over here on the other side of the board.
you
You
gotta
got
bring
to
it
bring
back.
purple."
Clear crown
Yeah.
score.
Yeah,
So-
you can buy you some time.
Already, I'm great theme. The wood on wood. You just that little click you get from
Yeah,
tactile feel. Very
sure,
good.
Yeah.
So that's super exciting. I'm gonna keep watching this as you guys develop it.
Yeah, so like one thing, like I said, just to unplug it or PAX.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They're or not PAX, but I'm sorry,
Unpub, yeah.
Unpub, yeah. The playtest sessions are phenomenal.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
like like going through and everyone offer great feedback
Yeah.
and we've learned a couple different things and,
Yep.
and a couple things that we want to try and tweak and work on. But
Right.
like that's why these sessions are so invaluable.
They really are.
Yeah.
And the great thing is, like, we talk about the organization of this and the coordinators. They're very amicable. If there are tables left over, if somebody wasn't around, like, if you try to get in, it's not guaranteed.
Very
But
accommodating.
They are very accommodating.
Yeah.
And they are here to help you succeed. 'Cause- and every playtester that comes to the door knows what they're here for. It's very rare
Yeah.
because you can try to randomly sample playtests, but everybody coming here knows they're here to play test. They know what they're going to look at as a prototype.
Yeah.
They don't come in with any expectations to see a finished product.
Right.
So you're getting genuine mechanical feedback. And
Sure.
granted, if you ask questions like, "What do you think of how this looks?" They'll give you your opinion, but
Yeah.
most of the time they're going to say, "This mechanically doesn't feel right. That mechanically doesn't feel right." And you get pure playtest information
Exactly,
from attendants here.
Yeah.
And it's such a wide variety of
Right.
different likes and dislikes too.
Right.
So people who maybe didn't think they were interested in that. You can have them sit down and play, and like, oh, I'm
Right.
interested in this game now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you get that.
We had a group. They played it like 4 times in a row.
Yeah.
It was cool, and then we even tried a couple new things. They offered some suggestions. I was like,
Mhm.
"Well, set it up with your suggestion.
Yeah.
Let's see what it does."
And this is I mean, this Unpub, I'll mention again, is located in Hunt Valley, Maryland. They do it once a year. Later on, we'll talk about. I believe they're doing a shift next year
Yeah.
to Memorial
Yeah,
Day
we'll save that
weekend.
for later, though, yeah.
But it's big because even if you're not a designer, if you really like to be part of the prototyping process, attendance here, if you're just a regular play tester, is free. You can get tickets to be a VIP play tester, which does give you the Thursday to Saturday or Thursday to Sunday experience. You could be here for the design mixer as a VIP play
It's only
tester.
$35.
Yeah, it's only
very
$35.
reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Convention fees.
right,
Yeah,
so
you
if
can do
you-
that for all the days.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and you'd be surprised at who's here. Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like this-
there's a lot of people here.
it's not. I mean, there are indie designers here, and you want to support the indie designers. There are other people here that you'd be surprised are here.
You start to recognize the faces,
Mhm.
see them.
And a lot of
Unplugged
your
was only a few months ago, and I'm still like, oh, I
yeah.
saw that guy there.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Start to
Right.
recognize everyone.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
We start recognizing
It's
everyone
fun
from last
seeing
year
the
too.
booth.
Like
Yeah,
people have
yeah.
sat down there
Yep.
like, oh, remember we played test Sheep
Right.
by like when it was like just our little, like our little cardboard pieces
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
And-
If you're involved in the board game community at all right now, and you have some friends here, if you've met people before, that's the awesome part of the community aspect
Yeah.
of it. You hit these conventions, you play a bunch of games together, you learn about design together. It's a great experience.
That's
It is.
certainly.
So Canosa. Next up.
Oh, Monster
Oh,
Minis.
Monster Minis.
So tell us, if you're not familiar,
Gents here.
their original game, Monster Highway,
Yes.
funded back in 2017, 2018?
Last year, January.
January
last year.
18th.
January, 2018.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Monster Highway tile placement game where you're trying to steer people off the road and send monsters after them to send them back to the nuke plant that blew up.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Um,
Cliff notes.
Right.
Notes
Okay.
version.
There's other things going on, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's all right. All right.
Some
Yeah.
take that mechanic, some really fun stuff, but essentially tile placement, but a fun tile placement. The original game has a cardboard standee, which was done by the artist that you mentioned before,
Yeah, Alicia.
Alicia. Boatman.
Alicia.
Yeah.
And they now offer some really cool miniature monsters that are available. I don't know if we can see those. So they come in both colors. They're available in gray and green. Is that correct?
So gray right now, yeah, we're working on the like perfecting the green color.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
he's kind of like
Yeah.
hot off the presses,
Yeah.
like literally hot off the presses.
We're gonna sing a melody here. Too.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
But yeah, gray's available right now.
Okay.
But it just adds that cool little element to it to actually see
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
that little miniature actually like moving around on the board.
Yeah. So if you own Monster Highway and you're looking
nice.
to sort of raise the board a little bit higher and what you have, go ahead and take a look at the minis. They're on onedaywestgames.com.
Yep.
Yes.
They store set up.
Excellent. And then
Monster
on your web
Highway's on
store, they could and where?
They can purchase Monster Highway on there too. Or check
Okay,
it out. Like we
perfect.
have videos on how to play stuff if you want to learn more about it.
Yeah.
Um,
And then relaunch for Sheep Oompa?
It's gonna be in June.
June.
At some point in June. We didn't set it-
June-ish? Okay.
Yeah, probably.
June-ish.
I'm saying early.
Throw the ish. If you're not
Ish.
sure, go throw the ish.
Yeah,
We're
Okay.
going ish.
We'll do ish.
Yeah. June-ish.
But we have a mailing list on our website.
Oh, yeah,
If
so
you
definitely
wanna
if you're
sign up for that, yeah, we send it out to everybody, let them know when we're launching.
Excellent.
And if we're on social media too. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all
Yep.
at One Day West Games.
Okay.
So we
Discord.
post about that
Your
there too.
recent-
And
recent
Discord.
recent
Yes,
Discord.
thank you
Yes.
for converting us over to that.
Yeah,
That's a great little
So,
place.
someday you probably master, right, how to navigate between the channels.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's still working on it. Yeah.
Next year. Yeah.
One day.
Yeah.
But I guess that's a pretty good summary, right?
Yeah.
You want to go
Yeah.
get dinner?
Yes.
Yeah.
All
Now's the
that,
time.
all that
All right.
pasta
All-
talk
yeah.
and parm talk.
Yeah.
Let's have some Canosas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A good aim. Okay, so thank you guys very much. We will be back following dinner.